Hi, welcome to the Virtual Care Network. My name is Cindy Campbell, and I'm an RN of about 30 years. And today, I'm going to give you a really quick review of some communication strategies that I've found useful in my own practice that I hope could help you feel more confident and safe in your work as a PSW. So let's just review quickly what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about two acronyms. One is called SBORS, and the other is called CUS. So SBORS and CUS. Also, we're going to talk about closed loop communication and active listening. So the first method we're going to talk about is a reporting tool, and it's called SBARS or SBORS. And this has been modified for PSWs from the more traditional SBAR, SBAR that you may see in acute care settings, which PSWs can certainly use as well, but this one just is a little more focused for your profession. So as you can see, it follows a structured order in which to give report, and it keeps report very focused and succinct and just helps you remember everything again in an orderly fashion. This would be used at a shift handover, or it could be used to report an incident that was out of the ordinary. So if it helps, let me run through a situation applicable to a PSW. So let's start with S, situation. My name is Cindy Campbell. I am a PSW with the Cooperative Care Alliance, and I'm reporting an incident that occurred with Mr. Patel, who lives in the West District. I've been working with Mr. Patel for about 2 months. Background. Mr. Patel is an 84-year-old man who lives alone. He has COPD and is on continuous oxygen. He has a portable O2 sat monitor that we check regularly, and his oxygen level is usually around 93%. Observation. Oh, Mr. Patel had a serious disagreement with his son on the phone today, and after he hung up, he was visibly agitated. He started to complain of feeling short of breath. He didn't show any other respiratory symptoms, and his color was normal, but his O2 sat did go down to about 87 right after the call, and it stayed that way for about 10 minutes or so until it did come back to normal after that time. He was insisting at that time that I turn up his oxygen because he said it was set too low, and he didn't want this to happen again. R, response. I gave Mr. Patel a lot of reassurance and helped to coach him, put on some music to help his anxiety. I told him that turning up the oxygen was outside of my scope of practice and that I could not do that, but that I would let the rest of the team know so they can see what can be done to help to make him more comfortable. Suggestions. I also suggest that we let the team know that the incident that happened today is going to be an ongoing family conflict. And they should be aware of the high level of anxiety it causes Mr. Patel. So they would need to understand that there need to be methods in place to help to reassure him, calm him, and just to again observe this incident that does happen with his oxygen saturation. Now let's run through the acronym CUS, C-U-S. So CUS is used when you are put in a situation where you may feel uncomfortable about something that you do not feel is in the client's or your staff's, colleagues' best interest. So it's a way to strategically deal with this. And it uses rather neutral words that are fairly easy to say, but words that are meaningful and direct nonetheless. So it follows a series of steps that escalates the situation as you go, with the hopes that these words are trigger words that inspires insight in the listener. So the first one, C, I'm concerned. If there is inaction, the next stage would be U, I'm uncomfortable. The next stage is S, this is a safety issue. Now let's talk about closed loop communication. Closed loop communication is just a really good practice to get in the habit of using, especially whenever there has been a verbal order given or a change in care. And it's especially useful in situations where you may not be clear on what was said, whether if there is English as a second language or if there is just some fuzzy information. And so what this does is it provides a confirmation that both parties interpreted and understood the message correctly. So what it involves is a call out, a check back, and then close the loop. So we'll give you an example. So I am the initiator and I'm going to call out, Mr. Smith is now taking his medication at 8 a.m. instead of 9:30. Then the receiver says, okay, got it. So Mr. Smith is taking his medication at 8 a.m. instead of 9:30 a.m. Is that correct? Back to the sender to close the loop. The sender is, yes, that is correct. Finally, let's talk about active listening. So active listening is described as the highest level of listening. And this is where you truly focus and respect on what is being said. So it's a constructive way to show empathy by using a combination of skills, nonverbal things such as body posture, nodding your head, eye contact, not interrupting when someone is speaking. And all of this makes the person feel validated and acknowledged. And active listening can go a long way with chronic care patients. It can help to de-escalate client anxiety for dementia or aggression, and it can encourage them to help to collaborate with you in care, which, as you know, is better for your clients, and it also can make your job a lot easier. So that concludes our very short summary of some of these communication strategies, but there's lots more to learn about these and other communication skills. To learn more, visit the Virtual Care Network at virtualcarenet.ca. Thank you.